Hi, all, and welcome to Monday night's Treasure Vortex with Gypsy Jules from YouTube's Zero Discrimination and myself, Amanda Digger Degaz. No housekeeping items tonight, so we're just going to get right on into it. So, hey, Gypsy, welcome back.
Hey, thank you, thank you.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I had a fun trip, but I got back, and the day I got back, I had walked back outside and on our back porch and stepped off the back porch and missed a step, and I twisted my ankle, my right ankle.
Oh, no.
So
Oh,
I
no.
am wearing, yeah, I'm wearing a ankle brace right now, but it's not as bad as the time I broke it. It's twisted pretty bad, but I'm hobbling around. But hopefully by the end of the week, I'll be able to get out and metal detect again. But I could always, I could still dig a dump, no problem.
Yep.
I did drive today, so that wasn't too bad. It's hard with the boot, though, because it's hard
Yeah,
to
I
tell
can
how much
imagine.
pressure you're giving the gas and the brake. So, but I'm
Yikes.
making it. So anyway, fun times, fun times.
Yeah. Too funny. So, did you get a dig in before you went on your trip at all?
I did a short time. I think it was. Now I'm trying to remember what day that was. I got out just for a short while because it was so pretty outside. Um, and it might have been the day before I left. I'm thinking it was. And I got out and detected for an hour or so. It's in an area I've detected a ton times before, and I found lots of trash. And I did manage to pull out a really cool, cute little buckle,
Ooh.
small buckle. So that was really cute. You and I, we love digging the buckles, so that's always fun.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, so that was good. And then when on one of the excursions, I got to metal detect a little. So one of the excursions on the ship got canceled,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't able to go. And so I had to change it to a different excursion. And on that excursion, I had talked to the people at the front desk and asked them about metal detecting. And they were like, nope, can't metal detect on this property. Which once I got there, I could have probably asked the locals and they might have let me. But, you know, it's different everywhere. So you kind of have to just be careful because I was in Mexico the first day in Cozumel. So, but I did metal detect in the water, in the shallow water for a little while in Belize, but there was no digging. It was actually use the probe, and a guy did come over and tell me I couldn't do that, or I couldn't dig is what he said. And I said, I'm not digging. I'm using my pinpointer to locate stuff. First, I'd locate it with my detector, and then I would, probe the pinpointer down in the water and then locate my target. And I found a few things, and I will make a video, so I don't know if I should spoiler alert. Should I spoiler alert? What do you think? I just found one really cool, one thing item that I thought was really cool. And then the other, and then of course some homemade sinkers as well, and some trash. So, but anyway, it was a teeny tiny island with a teeny tiny beach, so not much detecting. And, but, I had fun. And then I did on that first excursion, I probed my pinpointer around in the water. I didn't get the metal detector out, but I didn't find anything. It was a small area.
Yeah,
But
I
it was fun
understand.
anyway.
Yeah,
It
I
was
mean,
fun.
it looked nice. I mean, how was the weather down there?
It was windy. when I got to Galveston to get on the ship, it was so windy. It was insane. So I did get to detect in Galveston, though, on the beach.
Ooh.
Got some coins and a neat little bell thing. I think I sent you a photo of that. That was cool.
Yeah.
And I'll probably put a little video together, but nothing too exciting. Lots of trash, as expected on the beach. But it is off-season, so, you know. But, yeah, that was
Awesome.
about it. But I had fun.
Awesome. Your pictures
What
made
counts.
me.
But the weather out, it was windy, but the water was warm. So when you got out of the water, you were cold. But so you had to get back in the water to get warm.
Oh, yeah. I do have to say, your pictures made me slightly envious. I was kind of cold.
And it was freezing.
Yeah, yep, just a little bit.
Tell me about the weather there. Were you able to get out any?
I have. I got out. I got out on Sunday morning. The breeze and the cold. It was cold. It was below freezing, and actually, I'm sad to say a good portion of the area that I mudlark is actually under like ice caps. So you have to wait until the tide is really, really low, and only, basically where the coast is only showing for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour to search, because that seems to be the only area that's not under ice. So that's pretty much a bummer. But I saw the lady that I had met before New Year's, the one that I had given the insulator to that we talked about last week in the pre-recorded. I saw her out on Sunday, and she was only there to just stop by for a minute, and she finds chunks of glass or different insulator pieces and stuff, and cleans them up and decides if she wants to keep them or not, and if not, she brings them back because there's other collectors that go there. So she had only stopped by to just drop off a piece that she didn't want and to kind of scoop around real quick. But we got talking, and she decided to scrape an area, and I saw something I have never seen before.
What did you see?
She dug a pure white insulator. Not milk glass, like actual white porcelain, like Bell, the bigger ones, like
the bigger one.
Yeah.
I didn't know they made I've never seen one like that. That is too cool.
Yeah, I hadn't either. I was so excited for her. And, she's an insulator collector. She's like, oh, I've seen one before. It was, at I forget, it was at a museum. And I'm like, that's so cool.
That is too cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's neat. And she's the same lady that you met up with last time, and she collects those.
Yep, the insulators. So that's the one that I never took in the house, and ended up being like, oh, you like insulators, and gave it to her. And when she cleaned it up, it was the company that her mom had worked for 42 years, and it was her first real job. And yeah, it was really neat. So
that's just such a crazy story.
I know.
I mean, it was meant for you to meet this person for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, so she was out there too, and she had looked at me, she's like, I'm not dressed appropriately for this. And I looked, I'm like, no, you probably need a couple more layers. I have the face shield on, and the 20 thermals, 3 pairs of gloves.
Did you try the trick we learned not too long ago to warm your ears with, what was it? Put the hand warmer things.
Yeah, the
hand. Your
yeah, my ears stay warm because of the layers. You know what? The 2 things that get cold the fastest, especially if they get wet, usually my feet and my below 30. I think they're mudluckers or bogs or I don't know, something. My feet stay pretty good. It's if my fingertips get cold. So I do need to remember
Right.
to bring those next time and throw them in my pocket, those hand warmers. But I do have to say, if anybody has a trick besides snow goggles, how people keep their eyeballs warm. It like the cold actually like the breeze and the cold hurts my eyeballs.
Yeah, yeah, been there, done that. That is rough. And yeah, the only thing I know it would be goggles.
Yeah.
Um, kind of like ski goggles, I guess. I
Yep.
mean, that's what they use.
Yeah, the board I have the
So,
board and gog. I just figured, people already think I'm nuts. I'm out there. It's, 10 degrees. I probably look like the Violet from Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory with all the layers. And I could just picture wearing the goggles out.
right.
People probably stay away from me.
So, you haven't tried the gloves yet?
I
Did you try those
did.
yet? That I
I
think.
did. Yep, they're great to throw on after, but I can't pick anything up with them.
Yep, yep. I get it. I was worried about that.
But they are great at like warming my hands up really quickly because that's what I did is I jumped back in the truck and threw them on and I'm like, oh, thank gosh. So everyone, Gypsy got me for Christmas. She sent me a pair of like heated gloves, which are really neat. But when you're picking
But
up
yeah,
the
when you're
little itty,
mudlarking,
yeah.
it's yeah.
They'll probably be
It you
great
know
metal detecting though. So I'm hoping to do that
yeah,
this weekend. And
yeah. I have a pair, and I still have to pull them off once I dig something. I want to hold it in my fingers, and stuff like that. So for sure, for the warm when it's that cold and snow. Um, Allison said a full face mask or maybe even a Spider Woman mask. I like that. I love it. I love it.
that's
That
funny.
is too
Yeah,
funny.
that's hilarious. Oh my. Yeah, a Spider-Man mask. That would be good too.
Yeah,
Anything, honestly, is just. But I was getting stir crazy, so I had to get out.
you had to get out,
Yep.
right? Well, it's been raining here today, and I ended up meeting up with someone that was interested in purchasing a metal detector, and they weren't sure whether to purchase. They were interested in the AT Max, and his wife has the AT Pro, and then so they were looking at either the AT Pro or possibly even the Apex, but then his wife also wants a smaller coil, and so I went through the whole gamut of, what this this detector has this feature, this detector doesn't, this detector has this feature, this detector doesn't, and why you would want that over, this type capability. So that was a lot of fun, and it's neat just talking about the detectors.
Yeah.
Like you know how it gets when you start comparing different detectors and the similarities and the differences, that kind of thing. Hadn't done that in a while. It was fun.
It's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely that's neat though.
I keep losing you. My earpods keep unpairing for some reason.
Oh
I don't know
no.
why.
Can everybody in chat still hear Gypsy all right? Well, can
Test,
everybody
test.
listening and anyone in chat let us know? Ah, Lord. Glacier glasses? What?
I've never heard of those. That sounds really cool.
Oh, those are pretty neat. I might have to try them. They look like welder's glasses.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. All right. Looks like everyone can hear fine. Um,
Awesome.
how about, do you want to do one of the giveaways right now?
Giveaways? Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do a giveaway. That sounds great.
So
I've got the random.org
yes.
ready.
All right. So we have we have two prize packs. Thanks to Brian Yearden for the design. He came up with a pretty neat Treasure Vortex logo for Gypsy and I. So we figured we'd give it a try and put it on pins. So we have the prize pack will consist of a Treasure Vortex pin. Then we got some late donations, and we have a Sergeant Whitey's Discoveries Challenger coin. It's actually really neat. It's got a replica of his North Carolina rare button that he found, the sunburst button on one side, and then his logo on the other, and then, of course, stickers. So let me make sure. I saw Charlie just came in. Let me add him to the list. Hi, Charlie. So there are 17 right now in the chat. If you want to get in on this giveaway and you're listening, just say hey in chat and I'll add you to the list. And then once you do the number and I say the name, if you can say it, you're here.
All right.
I know there's a
So
little
those
bit
of
of
you
a...
that,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just going to say, those of you that weren't here for our last giveaway, she is assigning each one of you a number, and I don't know the number, and I'm on this end, I'm going to use random.org and put 1 through however many are in chat that want to be in on the giveaway. And then when random.org picks a number, I'll let her know, and that'll be the winner.
All right. So it doesn't look like we have any new, and we'll do another giveaway a little later on too. So it is numbers 1 through 17. Picking now, just so if anybody comes in after. Oh, nope. Did you do it? Don't do it yet.
Okay.
It's 1 through 18.
Okay, we've got 18 in chat. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Okay. Number 17.
Number 17 is Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Congratulations, Charlie Harley. Misty just made it too.
Yeah, that was the number 18. So now we have
Okay.
Yeah, yep. Yes, indeed. So Charlie, if you could email, I'm going to drop the email information in the chat.
Did you get Mark as well?
Nope, I already had put
joined.
that we were picking now, and you had already hit the button. Yep.
All right.
He can get in on. I added him. Yep. For the next one.
Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
indeed.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on him.
Yes, indeed. All right,
there
Charlie.
You go.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead. tv.treasurevortex@gmail.com is our email, and she put it in chat, and just shoot over and your address, and we will get that little prize pack off to you.
All right. So I have to tell you, we watched your episode. All right. So John, Noah, and I were sitting down and watching it. Noah looked at me and he goes, do you think Gypsy probably just volunteered to get into the well in spring without even being asked? And I said, yeah, there's a good possibility of that. So,
Yep, I did. It was funny because, Maddie, he doesn't, he was a little freaked out that here we are in here we are in Texas, and there's snakes. And so he was like, I don't have snake boots. And one of the cameramen did see a snake, not in the spring or anything like that. But I have to, he was already kind of creeped out about, there could be snakes. And when we were standing on the side of the mountain there, it was so hot, super hot. And he's not used to the Texas heat either, and he started overheating, and we had to call a break while they were filming us detecting on the side of the mountain. We were standing up there waiting for him to come back. But yeah, we were trying to be super cautious for snakes, and we did check out that spring before, I climbed in there, that there wasn't any snakes sitting in there, because that was my biggest fear. And something that, you don't know and you don't see, because y'all don't see a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff. But when I first jumped in there, there was a rock down in there. And I'd stepped on that rock, or my foot had hit it, and I felt it move, hit against my, my rubber boot, because I had the waders on. And I thought something was moving around.
Oh, geez.
The heck out of me. So I was about ready to jump back out. And then when I stepped on it again, I was like, oh, it's just a rock. It's just a rock. Whew. Because I thought there was a snake or something in there. I was so scared. We got another person to add to our list. Welcome, Andy.
Yep. And only one. So Charlie, we're moving you from the list because you already won. So our next giveaway. So, but yeah. So I know that we have some new people in chat. We'll have a giveaway in a little while. We already did one, but all right, on to the next. So you kind of hit on it when you said that your cameraman saw a snake, and all I could picture, we were watching you. You're climbing a mountain that was full of rocks and shrubs, and all we could picture is the Texas heat and looking for snakes, and you're trying to go around these giant boulders and
yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
go
my.
ahead.
So he was like, did they see any snakes? But I think you said the cameraman did. So is that where, on that mountain?
That's where the snake was. Yeah, there is where we saw it. I was more scared. I was a little scared. I'm not scared of snakes. What my biggest fear is when I kneeled down to dig, which Maddie was digging for me, so I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's nice.
Maddie, the host of the show, he did all the digging for me and Donna. And so I didn't have to worry about kneeling down on a snake. And but what I would do is most of the time I was pretty much leading the way, with my detector. So I would just make sure, I was sweeping, everywhere and all of that to make sure, there was no snakes or, critters or anything like that. But yeah, there's so much that people don't get to see, unfortunately, the actual, other things that are going on, while we're hunting. People did not get to see all of the other stuff that I dug. Mm-hmm. The shovel actually, what was interesting about that shovel, we actually researched it, and it did date back to, I think it was the 1850s, but it actually dated back to, what was it? I don't have it's on my phone. I have the information in there, but I think it originally came from like an old steamboat, and it would have been used to, so it was rare. It wasn't just like your average shovel. And so that was a really nice surprise, and a lot of that stuff, when we're out detecting, we take for granted. We dig stuff that we call junk or trash,
Yeah.
But when you're in an area where you know that there wasn't a homestead, and you know that there is this known, outlaw that was known to hang out there, it was like, how did a steamboat, how did that get there?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just a whole nother area to research, with the way that is designed. So it's possible that it wasn't designed just for a steamboat. It's possible it was designed for a train for the coal as well. So, I mean, not a steamboat, what do you call it?
I don't know.
Steamboat. I am getting so mixed up. What do you call the ones with the wheel? A paddle boat. And my brain is not working right now. But it's from a paddle boat is what, from our research. But it's possible, it could even come from a steamboat. I don't know. But it was interesting how that would have gotten out there. There's a special design that one had, the way it was shaped and with the rivets and stuff. And just the little things. And one other thing, we barely got any time. You got to realize they're setting up everything in certain increments, like so much time to detect right here, so much time to go get in, for me to go offer to go jump in the spring. It's very limited time.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. I even dug and found what I did find. Another thing we found was a smashed, like the little tin cups where
mm-hmm.
you ladle out your drink. It might have had a wood handle at one time. Found that didn't make the cut. And you're trying to squeeze so much into giving a history, and the history behind what we're doing, the area we're in, what we're looking for, all that history, and then there's only a limited time for the search to show what's going on with the search. So a lot of people, don't realize when they're watching these shows and they're laughing and griping because they're not finding anything or they're not showing all the finds that they find. Here's the thing. It's more about the history. It's more about the history. It was cool to get time in there and actually find a few items that related to the time period that we were, of what we were looking for. But even if we found that treasure, if you think about it, more than likely, it probably wouldn't even get aired. More than likely, the way the laws of all that stuff is right now, because there's lawsuits and all that. You got people fighting over, well, this would belong to, this or that. So, of course, it would end up, because we signed contracts and stuff, it would end up in the right place, respectively right place. I wouldn't get to keep it.
Yeah.
People watch these shows and they're like, well, they don't find anything, but it's more about the history.
And you're documenting the journey of it too. So
right.
Plus, I mean, they do,
right.
So we had two questions in chat, and then there's one so I'm gonna interject my question first. So when you guys went through the museum and you got to hold that gold coin, what was that like?
That was pretty cool because of the actual date on that coin. And what people need to remember, what were the date, the ones that were stolen off that train by Sam Bass and his crew were freshly minted.
Yeah.
Freshly minted 1877 gold pieces. And what makes that so unique is that these were freshly minted and they were on their way. They were on their way to Wells Fargo, the bank.
Yep.
So they never reached the bank. And so what was so cool is more than likely Sam Bass or one of his men spent that coin, you know. So that was pretty amazing right there.
Yeah,
and you know,
it looked it.
I read a lot of the comments, you know, that people write and say and stuff. You know, the interesting thing, you know, there's like that museum has that labeled and it has a number on the edge, you know, and people are like, oh, you know, coin collectors, and I get it, you know.
Yeah.
But it's in a museum. They're not going to be selling that or anything like that. They can pretty much do what they want to with it. But the whole history behind it, and what's really interesting is where I live. I live in the same town where he was shot and killed, Sam Bass. So that was neat to follow all that history, and I even delved deeper and learned more about history and my area just being on this show. And it's really sad. I mean, you could probably do a full series on that, and we could keep searching, you know, like they did with Oak Island and stuff like that, because there's so many other, you know, you're just getting a snippet, and we're only metal detecting a very, very short period of time.
Yeah.
Where we film in like 3 days, and that's it. So
that's crazy. So 2 of the questions in chat for you was, how hot was it down there while you were filming?
So I think Donna said with the heat index, it ended up that day that we were on the side of the mountain where the spring was, where I found the shovel piece. With the heat index, it was up to about 115. So it was over 100 degrees.
Yikes.
That day. Yeah.
And then I think...
And so, yeah, that's why I didn't mind getting into that.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'd leave it to you to find the water to get into.
Oh, let me tell y'all something else that's really interesting. So when I got in there, and I'm sitting there, you know, metal detecting, probing around, digging a little, because you're only seeing the short snippet of it. On my way out, before I climbed out of that hole, I looked on the side, like if you're looking at where the door hinges and comes up, where when Maddie opens it, and you look below, and you're down in that hole in the spring, and you look to the right of that hole, which would have been my right because of where I was facing in metal detecting. When I was coming back out of there, I happened to look over there, and that whole side of that wall underneath there was covered in daddy long-leg spiders.
Nope. Well, they're not
and it's
bad.
a good thing. They're not bad. They're not bad. But I know some people freak out about spiders. And, you know, I was bit years ago by a brown recluse spider that left a terrible scar on my leg. And so I'm not that fond of spiders, but, you know, those don't bother me. But, yeah. It was just creepy though, because I don't want them crawling on me or anything like that.
Yeah, I found thankfully the daddy long legs I'm okay with. Like I really am, but even then, like as long as you can see them, when you feel them crawling, and you don't know what it is, then that's a big.
Right.
But yeah, the ones when you're digging, like the big, what do they call them? Wood spiders or wolf spiders. And you dig a hole, and all of a sudden one like jumps out. Oh, no thanks. Yep. I think I've yelled 1 or 2 times. And then the other question in chat was, do you know what type of snake it was that the cameraman saw?
That I'm not really sure. More than likely, in the area we were, rattlers are very, very prominent in that area of Texas. So my guess, it was probably a rattler, but I didn't hear anything because, we were talking and we're swinging the detector and the cameramen are walking around and Maddie's over there chopping to make the path for us with the machete and so I never heard any rattling, but that would be my guess. It was probably a rattler, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, so when I do come visit, I have to invest in snake boots.
Snake boots, yes.
All right.
Especially if it's in the summer. But one of my friends sent me a few days ago a picture of a big snake that they were out. And I'm like, really? Because it's been pretty warm here in Texas, except for, the last few days. So, yeah, year-round Texas.
Oh, wonderful. So I guess I should be thankful it's below freezing. There's no bugs. I'll deal with the freezing.
Yeah. But y'all stay tuned. I did talk to Maddie this last week, and I've already told Amanda. Once he gets back, he was just filming again on the island. And once he gets back to where he lives, he's agreed he would be a guest on the podcast. And so we'll devote an evening where we can talk about the episode. And then also I'll be in 2 more episodes. I think episode 5, and I'm not sure what the other episode will be. It'll come out. And then maybe we can have a few of those people on. One we've already had before. So, we'll try to have them on and talk about those episodes as well. But again, I was just excited to find the finds I found. I know they weren't amazing, and everybody kept asking me about that stinking Lincoln that I found. It actually did. It was a Wheatie, which we couldn't tell that right then, and the cameramen were like ready to be done with it. We were ready to go down when I got that hit, and they weren't even really going to film it at first, but they decided to go ahead and film it. So we dug it, and it was a coin. And anyway, it turned out to be a Wheatie, but what was interesting about that, it was, I think, 1920 was the date.
Awesome.
And it turned out to be like 1920. And what's interesting about that is the house, the Haunted Hill House below the mountain there, was popular, during the Prohibition.
Yeah.
So that would have been Prohibition money. So that was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Bootleg money. Bootlegging money.
Prohibition. So I know people end up scattering, the closer we get to the show. You want to do that last giveaway?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do a giveaway. I think we have a few more people though.
Yes, I got.
Have you already added them?
Yep, pretty sure I did.
Okay, great.
Yep, I got them all. And then Charlie, because you won, you've gotten taken out. So the numbers, basically, his number 17, it went to the next person. So, So for those that entered a little late and didn't get to hear, we were giving away 2 prize packs tonight. Let's see, Brian Yearden created a logo for Gypsy and I for Treasure Vortex. So we gave it a go and put it on a pin. So the prize pack will have one of those, a Treasure Vortex pin. And then Sergeant Whitey's Discoveries. I saw Sean sent in some items that were donated, a little bit after the big giveaway. They came in a little bit late, so we're doing a Sergeant Whitey's Discoveries Challenger coin. On one side, it has his logo, and on the other side, it has that North Carolina Rare Militia Sunburst button design. They're really, really neat. And then stickers, because we have plenty of stickers to give away.
Okay.
Yep.
And we've got another person in chat, Mary. She just made it.
Mary, all right. Mary?
We're going to add you to our list. Oh, Amber, do you already have Amber? I just saw Amber in the chat.
Nope, adding her right now.
And you've got Misty.
Yep, I got Misty. The
And
last ones that
Paul.
came in was Misty, Mark, Andy, Eric, Paul.
Okay, great. We'll put y'all in here on this little giveaway real quick.
So the way we do it is Gypsy has random.org. I assigned everyone who came in to chat and started talking, and I saw your name. I wrote you down and put a number next to your name. And then we're going to tell Gypsy, hey, numbers 1 through whatever. She hits the random.org and tells me the number, and then we'll announce the winner. So I'm going to do that in 1 second. Seeing if anybody else is listening who would like to join in, just jump into chat right now. Jose, I have you. Amber, I have you. Wayne, I have you. Oakland Digger, I have you. Bill.
Travis.
Travis, yep.
Okay, good. All right, you ready?
I'm going to say we are picking now. Yes, I have Travis. All right, it is 1 through 23.
Okay. All right, number 11.
Number 11 is Jose.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah, we had a bunch of stragglers of donations that came in. So every now and again, we will probably be doing a giveaway.
Yeah.
And
Jose, do you have our email?
I just put it in chat for you. So if you could just email and let us know, I will get those prize packs out in the mail. If there's anybody that, you've listened since, you've listened since we started Treasure Vortex and even before, and you haven't won a prize pack yet, but you'd like some stickers, just email that same email address, tv.treasurevortex@gmail.com, and say you'd like some stickers, and we will get some in the mail for you. Yes. I've gotten a lot of requests, and a lot of them have gone out in the mail. I think just about all prize packs and everything that has been mailed has been received thus far.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's about.
Awesome.
Yeah. Did you say next Monday who's coming on?
Next Monday we have special guest Jason Quarter Hoarder. We hadn't had him on in forever and a day. So he will be our guest next week. And most of you know he has a YouTube channel, and he lives over, not too far from our guest, Rachel, that's in chat, over in, almost said Maine.
New Jersey?
New Jersey. But, yeah, and he's got an amazing channel. Y'all be sure, if you haven't ever watched Quarter Hoarder's channel, be sure and check it out. And anyway, we'll have him on as a guest next week. So excited about that.
Bring your bananas next Monday.
Bring your bananas. Yes. Funny. He's so fun. He's a great guy.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Actually, we've got a great lineup So yeah,
Yeah.
excited. Excited.
And we talked about last week, I think, already, in uh, the pre-recorded show. We talked a little bit about some of the upcoming hunts already that we've mentioned. Were there any hunts that you wanted to mention right now? And then some of these people will be having on as guests to talk about those hunts more, as it gets closer. Did you have anyone?
Um, well, so the first one on the list is Florida Hunt 8, and that's the 18th, 19th, and 20th. And then there's the Texas Treasure Show, which is February 26th and 27th. And then in March, March 20th through the 25th is Digstock, North Carolina. And then April 19th through the 24th is the Best of New England, or Bone, in New Hampshire.
Bone?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then September, what is it, the 23rd, 24th, and 25th is the Indiana Hunt, and it's Wayne Silver Hunt.
Wayne, the Rendezvous?
Yes.
Watts Rendezvous.
Watts
Yes.
Rendezvous.
And we talked last episode more in depth about that, and we'll be having Wayne on to talk more about that. But you can also go to the Facebook page, to the Watts Facebook page, and find out more info, or message Wayne Peterson, Nugget Brain Wayne, on that for more info as it gets closer. Any more?
That's as far as I have written down. I know that there's more, but
Okay.
yep, I haven't. So
Okay.
So we are from February through September, we have dates on the calendar. Oh my.
Yeah, it's going to be a busy year, isn't it?
It is. It is. Should be good though. Should be good. It's giving me something to look forward to besides this cold. So,
Right.
but yeah,
And
so
I
go
was
ahead.
just going to say, Wayne put his email for, you can contact him in chat. He put his email for hunt information on the Watts. And then also Bill mentioned that there's a GPAA Gold Show in Columbus, Ohio in May, he thinks. So maybe we can find out more information about that as well.
Ooh, that would be good. That's like May and July are like the two that I don't actually have anything written down in yet. Yeah, actually, Charlie, you're not too far away from me either. I think you're about 5 hours. I have family in Pennsylvania as well. Should go, hey.
Oh.
I think they have like, I don't know, 10 or 12 acres.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that'd be fun. I have yet to dig Pennsylvania, so
That's on my list too, my bucket list. I got so many states I haven't hit yet, or haven't detected them. I think Travis had a question. And I lost it.
is Maddie as animated as he seems, Gypsy?
Yeah, he so is. Even more so than you see. He's fun. He's got such a great sense of humor. In fact, he had texted me this week and said, "Hey, I think I'm going to release that video that I took when him and I were hanging out in the kitchen in the Haunted Hill house during, where they changed they got to get the camera crew in and ready and everything set up, and we were waiting in the kitchen and we're watching the screens in Haunted Hill house, and an orb came in and he caught it on film and it was interacting with us. It's pretty crazy, amazing. He said, I'm going to release it. So I haven't noticed if y'all follow Maddie on any of his social media. He might have already posted it, but it was pretty epic. And I'm sure we'll get him to talk about that too. But yeah, he is very animated, and he's just a lot of fun. He actually has a radio show too, which we can get him to talk about that show. And he does, I think, a paranormal podcast as well. So he's just a great guy, a lot of fun to work with. Him and I had so many laughs, so many laughs together.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to have him on. He seems like he'd be a blast to hang around.
Yeah, we might have to make that show a little bit later. I mean, go on a little longer than the norm, just because he's so fun to talk to, and I know he's got a million stories. So, and I'm sure everybody will have some great questions for him. And he's seen so much, and he's hunted and detected with Gary Drayton, and just so much there. So.
Awesome. So, sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. It's great to have him on. They had asked about DDPA, Dirt Dig in Pennsylvania, in May, but I don't actually see a date yet, so that would be something else we can throw on. Calendar, Boyerstown. Oh, yeah. All right. I missed that one last year.
We'll have to get a list together of other ones. If y'all know any other hunts that you think that we need to announce, just email us and let us know, because we don't know a lot of the smaller local hunts as well as we know the big hunts usually that are more publicized. So just shoot us an email and we'll try to announce it.
All right, I have it on the calendar. Thank you, Allison.
Awesome. So we are running close to the end of our time. Do we have any more questions or anything we need to discuss before we hop off here?
When are you going to get to hold the gold coin again? No.
When I go dig one of my own.
What's the security like at said museum? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I know where it's at in the museum. Oh, one other thing. I got to say this. This was really funny. So we get to the museum, and actually, things are kind of filmed backwards. So I'd already, actually the museum is where I met Maddie for the first time. And then later, we ended up filming the war room thing because we had to work around their schedule for Marty and Rick. So anyway, we just got there and we met them, and we were waiting on Maddie to come in. And I get there and I meet the curator there of the museum that showed us the gold coin and everything. And he goes, we introduced ourselves, and he said, "I know you. I've seen you on YouTube." And I was like, "Oh." And get this, so he not only, the video that he watched was me and my friend Cinder, it's not even on my channel. It was on another channel that I did with some other diggers, like a group of diggers. Yep. We had a channel together, and what we did is we went to the cemetery in Round Rock, and we filmed a little history about that and showed his grave and everything where he's buried and talked about the history. And then he watched that video, and he's like, "By the way, that was a really good video, great on the history part of that." So it was weird that he recognized me.
That's awesome, though.
Anyway, but yeah, that was another little tidbit. I guess we're out of time, and I know some of you have to hop off here and head to another show, so we'll go ahead and close it. And we just thank you all for listening. Be sure and join us next week. And you all, happy digging. Have a great week. Thanks all.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.